Have you ever heard the phrase, fruit is healthy? Well, many people believe that, but when it comes to the health of seniors, not all fruits are good for your body. Some may seem harmless, but they hide risks that range from uncontrolled blood sugar to digestive problems and inflammation. In this video, we'll show you 4 fruits that you, as an elderly person, should avoid as much as possible. And also reveal 4 fruits that should be present in your daily diet because they help your intestines, protect your heart, and even improve your sleep. And don't worry, everything will be explained directly, with practical examples and without any fuss. You will understand not only which fruits to choose, but why these choices make a real difference to your health. And believe me, the changes are simple, but the benefits are powerful, so take advantage now and check if you are subscribed to the channel, because here you will always find clear, safe tips designed especially for those who want to live longer and better with health. Now that you know what to expect, let's understand why the right or wrong fruit can make such a difference to your well-being as you age. The importance of fruits in old age. The transition to old age brings several changes to the body. Metabolism slows down, digestion becomes more sensitive, and the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, and osteoporosis increases. In this context, food is no longer just a matter of taste and becomes an essential tool for prevention and quality of life. Fruits, when chosen well, can be true allies. They provide vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds that help keep the body functioning well. For example, fruits rich in vitamin C strengthen the immune system. Those rich in potassium help control blood pressure. And those rich in fiber favor intestinal transit, which tends to slow down with age. But that's where the danger lies. Not all fruits are ideal for the elderly. Some have a high glycemic index, which means they release sugar very quickly into the bloodstream, something that's harmful for people with diabetes or insulin resistance. Others are highly acidic and can irritate the stomach, cause heartburn, reflux, or worsen gastritis, which are common at this stage of life. Furthermore, excess fructose, the natural sugar found in fruits, can cause fermentation in the intestines, generating gas and discomfort. This does not mean that fruits should be avoided, but rather that they should be chosen wisely and consumed in the right quantities. Another important point is the way in which it is consumed. Fruits blended with condensed milk in the form of sweets, preserves, or industrialized juices lose much of their nutritional value and gain empty calories. Therefore, eating the fruit in its natural form in a simple way is almost always the best option. In this video, the idea is to show you which fruits to avoid because of these risks, and which ones to prioritize because they bring real benefits to an aging body. The intention is not to scare, but to guide, because making good choices can mean more energy, less pain, less medication, and greater well-being in your daily life. Now that you understand the importance of making the right choice, let's start with the fruits that deserve a red alert. The first on the list may seem healthy, but it hides a serious problem for those over 60. Fruit 1 that should be avoided. Let's get straight to the point. The first fruit that seniors should avoid is the overripe dwarf banana. Although bananas are known for being healthy, when and are in fact rich in potassium, which helps with blood pressure, overripe bananas have a high glycemic index. This means that they release sugar very quickly into the bloodstream, which can be harmful, especially for people with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, which is quite common in older people. Furthermore, this ripe version of the fruit is usually extremely sweet and ferments more easily in the intestine, which can cause gas, bloating, and abdominal discomfort. In other words, a food that could be beneficial ends up becoming a problem depending on how it is consumed. It is very common for elderly people to eat ripe bananas at night, thinking they are eating something light. However, at this time, the metabolism is already slower, and this type of simple carbohydrate can disrupt glycemic control and even affect the quality of sleep. A better alternative? A medium-ripe silver banana. It has less sugar, more fiber, and is digested in a more balanced way. It can be eaten in the morning or as an afternoon snack in moderate portions. And if this tip has already helped you better understand what to put on and or take off your plate, take advantage now and like the video. This helps the channel to continue bringing this type of direct and useful information to those who want to age more healthily. Next, we'll talk about a fruit that's often found at parties and in salads, but that can cause more problems than benefits for the elderly. Get ready for number 2 on the list. Fruit 2 that should be avoided. The second fruit that seniors should avoid is raisins. Although they are popular at holiday parties, in breads, cakes, and even in rice, raisins are a dried fruit with a very high concentration of natural sugar. To give you an idea, a small handful of raisins can contain as much sugar as a canned soda. This is especially dangerous for older people with blood sugar problems, insulin resistance, or who are overweight. In addition to sugar, the lack of water, a consequence of the dehydration process, makes raisins low in soluble fiber. As a result, they do not promote satiety or help with intestinal transit like fresh grapes would. On the contrary, consuming them can cause spikes in blood glucose levels and even contribute to the accumulation of abdominal fat, something that is difficult to combat. After the age of 60, another important point, many industrialized raisins are added with oils or preservatives, which further worsens their nutritional value. And since they are small and sweet, it is very easy to eat too much without realizing it, which makes this fruit a true invisible enemy of health. Want a better alternative? Choose an apple with the skin on it, which is rich in fiber, has a low glycemic index, and is good for digestion. You can cut it into pieces, sprinkle some cinnamon on it, and have a healthy, light, and nutritious snack. Dried fruits in general need to be consumed with great caution, especially by the elderly. And now, let's move on to a fruit that many people love for breakfast, but that can be terrible for those with sensitive stomachs. 3 fruits to avoid. The third fruit that should be avoided by the elderly is sour orange, especially in juice form. Oranges are a source of vitamin C and fiber, but when we talk about the very acidic version, such as the pear orange or the still green lime orange, we have a problem. The high acidity can irritate the gastric mucosa, worsening reflux, gastritis, and heartburn, which are extremely common after the age of 60, and the problem is exacerbated when the fruit is consumed in juice form. When you squeeze the orange, you remove practically all the fiber and concentrate the fruit's sugar in a small glass. The result? A spike in glucose and an acidity that is aggressive to the stomach, especially if consumed on an empty stomach. Many elderly people have the habit of drinking a little orange juice as soon as they wake up, believing it is doing them good. However, for those with a more sensitive digestive system, this practice can cause discomfort, heartburn, and even hinder the absorption of nutrients throughout the day. Safer alternative, watermelon in small portions, consumed mid-morning or mid-afternoon. It is hydrating, light, less acidic, and helps keep the body well nourished and fresh, especially on hot days. Now, tell me in the comments, do you usually drink orange juice every day? Have you ever felt any discomfort after doing so? I want to know what your experience is like, and I can even answer you with more specific tips. In the next topic, we will talk about a fruit that many people consider sophisticated in fitness, but which can cause more harm than good in old age. 4 fruits to avoid. The fourth fruit that seniors should avoid is avocado in excess, especially when consumed with sugar or other sources of calories. Avocado has great properties. It is rich in good fats, helps heart health, and promotes satiety. However, for the elderly, it requires attention in quantity and preparation. This is because avocado is extremely caloric, and when consumed with sugar, condensed milk, or in very heavy smoothies, it can promote weight gain and increase LDL cholesterol levels, the bad kind, depending on the rest of the diet. Furthermore, there is a common misconception, believing that good fats can be consumed at will, but even healthy foods, if eaten in excess, overload the liver and make digestion difficult, especially in slower organisms such as those of the elderly. Another problem is the timing of consumption. Eating avocado at night, for example, can cause a feeling of heaviness, bloating, and poor digestion, directly affecting the quality of sleep. What is the alternative? An excellent option is pears with skin, which are low in calories, high in fiber, easy to chew, and easy to digest. They help to keep the intestines regular and also give a pleasant feeling of fullness without weighing you down. Avoiding excesses, even with fruits that seem harmless, is a way to take care of your body with intelligence and balance. Now that we have seen what should be avoided, the most awaited moment has arrived. We will reveal the 4 fruits that every elderly person should eat more often, and we will start with one that helps the intestines, the heart, and even the mood. Fruit 1 that should be consumed. After talking about what to avoid, it's time to turn the page and focus on what's really good for you. And the first fruit that every senior citizen should eat more often is the Formosa papaya. Papaya is practically a natural remedy for the digestive system. Rich in fiber and the enzyme papain, it aids digestion, helps the intestines function, which tends to slow down with age, and also has a mild anti-inflammatory effect on the gastrointestinal tract. Additionally, papaya is low in sugar, especially when compared to fruits like mango or persimmon. This makes it an excellent choice for those with type 2 diabetes or who need to control their blood sugar. What's more, it's rich in vitamins A and C, which help strengthen the immune system and protect vision, which is crucial for aging people. One positive point is that papaya is easy to chew, light on the stomach, and combines well with other functional foods. A practical suggestion is to consume it for breakfast with some chia or flax seeds, creating a functional and nutritious breakfast. It is important to remember that regularity is more important than quantity. Small portions every day already generate noticeable positive effects. And if this tip is useful to you, leave your like now. This helps the channel grow a lot and allows this information to reach more people who also want to age healthily and independently. In the next topic, we will talk about a simple and accessible fruit, but which has enormous power to control blood pressure and protect the heart. Fruit 2 that should be consumed. The second fruit that every elderly person should include in their routine is the silver banana. But be careful, we are talking about it at the right point of ripeness, neither too green nor too ripe. The silver banana is excellent for several reasons. First, it is rich in potassium, an essential mineral for controlling blood pressure, which tends to become unregulated as we age. Second, it is digested more slowly than the dwarf bananas, which prevents spikes in blood sugar. This fruit also helps prevent cramps and relaxes muscles, which is useful for elderly people who experience pain, stiffness in their legs, or have difficulty sleeping. It also contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps produce serotonin, which helps with mood and can even improve the quality of sleep. One of the biggest advantages of the silver banana is its versatility. It can be eaten raw, mashed with a little oatmeal, used in healthy pancakes, or as the base of a light smoothie. And all this without weighing down the stomach. Just pay attention to the quantity. One banana a day is more than enough to enjoy its benefits without overdoing the carbohydrate load. And avoid mixing it with sugar or condensed milk, as is common in some recipes. Eating well doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes simple and affordable fruits like this one are more effective than expensive supplements. And that's exactly the kind of knowledge we want to share here. In the next topic, we will present 2 fruits that complete this golden list, and one of them is especially good for those who suffer from constipation or high cholesterol. Fruit 3, apple with skin apples, are one of the most complete and practical fruits for those who want to protect their heart and regulate their intestines. Rich in soluble fiber, especially pectin, they help reduce bad cholesterol, LDL, and keep the digestive tract functioning more smoothly. The peel contains antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that also help protect cells from premature aging. In addition, apples have a low glycemic index, which means they release sugar slowly into the bloodstream, which is beneficial for those who need to control their blood sugar levels. They are easy to carry and consume, and can be combined with cinnamon to add flavor without adding sugar. Fruit 4, fresh plum. Fresh plums are a natural remedy for constipation, a very common problem among the elderly. They are high in fiber, especially when eaten with the skin, and also contain sorbitol, a compound that attracts water to the intestine, facilitating bowel movements. Unlike the dried version prunes, which are higher in calories and may contain added sugar, fresh plums are light, hydrating, and very beneficial when consumed regularly. 1 or 2 servings a day are enough to feel the effects. You can eat plums for breakfast or as a dessert after lunch. They also go very well with natural yogurt, making a healthy and functional snack. These 2 fruits not only help the body to function better, but also bring comfort and practicality to the daily lives of those who seek to age gracefully and with well-being. Now tell me in the comments, which of these 4 good fruits do you already eat? And which ones will you include from now on? I would love to hear your choices and experiences. In the last chapter, we will do a quick summary and show how these small changes can generate a big transformation in your health. Now that we've reached the end of the video, it's time to review the most important points and reinforce what really makes a difference in your day-to-day life. We talk about 4 fruits that should be avoided by the elderly: a very ripe dwarf banana due to its high glycemic index, raisins because they contain concentrated sugar and little fiber, acidic orange juice, which aggravates gastric problems. Too much avocado, which can be high in calories and indigestible depending on how it is prepared. Next, we show you 4 fruits that must be on your menu. Formosa papaya, excellent for the intestine. The silver banana, good for the heart and sleep. The apple with skin, which helps control cholesterol. Fresh plum, effective against constipation. The secret is not to cut out everything or follow restrictive diets. The secret is to choose wisely. Eating well in old age is a way to take care of yourself, respect yourself, and maintain your independence for much longer. And if you like these tips and want to continue learning how to improve your health with practical and safe guidelines, subscribe to the channel now. Here you will find videos designed with care and responsibility for those who want to age with more energy, clarity, and tranquility. Subscribe, activate the bell, and share this content with someone who also deserves to take better care of their health. See you in the next video.